of time. But let's quickly take you through what happened at the Eagle Square in Abuja yesterday. Bola Tinubu and Shetima sworn in as president and vice president. Buhari back to Daura. Policy pronouncements were made during the inaugural speech. Perhaps the biggest of them all is the fact that fuel subsidy is gone. And like some of our listeners pointed out immediately, you saw queues everywhere. People started going for the fuel station owners, the profiteers, that are trying to indeed profit from where they didn't sow. But the fact is that the businessmen you get in Nigeria, they're not different from the businessmen in US. If you indeed want to go for extraordinary profit, or you want to cheat the people in the course of business, there are laws and regulations and institutions to deal with you. They're not better off than we are, just that they are constrained by way of deterrence, not to go beyond the limits. But when you find a country where you do anything and get away with it, then it becomes a bandwagon. So what we expect the government to do is to really be on top of the situation. There are institutions, there are structures, there are agencies that have been saddled with responsibility. They should do their job. The president said he will consult, he will govern, he will not, what did he call it?
Dictate.
He will not dictate. But some will say, to what extent were the labor and other critical stakeholders in the petroleum sector consulted before he made that pronouncement? Some will say everybody agrees that subsidy will go. The problem is, how are we going to phase it out?
Amechi, we congratulate President Tinubu, Bola Tinubu and Shetima, and 28 other governors across the country who were sworn in yesterday amidst the revelation of high debt that their predecessors left for them. Tinubu made pronouncements yesterday, but Amechi, we have said consistently here that we are fantastic people in Nigeria. The man said fuel subsidy is gone, no written document yet, no memo sent to anywhere, and already filling stations that have not been selling fuel, that have fuel, that have been hoarding fuel, open up along the airport road in Abuja. Filling stations that have been locked for months, all of a sudden they are open now, selling this fuel that they claim not to have. And filling stations that have fuel are increasing
at
the money
price?
At 300 naira, 250, 300 naira, as the case may be, along the airport road. I must tell you that for sure, because I came in from there this morning. And we hear news in Lagos as well. We hear news in Kaduna, filling stations, all of a sudden. At the moment, barely 2 hours, the president made that announcement.
Well, you know the funny thing, Abulu, and that's the price for which Nigerians
have been buying
in many
local,
states of the Federation now, south major cities of Abuja, Lagos, Port Harcourt, are buying this fuel.
The sad story is, if you and I buy this fuel in Lagos and Abuja at 300 naira, people in Edo State, where I come from, will buy it for 700 naira. And it's very sad, Amechi, because the president, no document has been made. He just made, it's a speech he gave. And yes, people will say that he's a president and it's a policy. Every statement of such by the president is a policy or backed by law.
But
perhaps
we'll start
documents have not
work from today.
Yes, documents have not been flying. He has not named any advisor, petroleum industry. He has not named ministers. Who is that person that will pass documents to the regulatory agency to implement or to remove subsidy? We know subsidy was included in 2023 budget.
Up to a point?
Yes, up to June 2023. And how much, we know that they said 16 billion is paid every day for subsidy. How much is it that was added to the 2023 budget between now and June? If people are already, filling stations or retailers are already creating artificial scarcity by not selling all the pumps. If you go with a filling station with 10 pumps, they are selling just 2, creating artificial scarcity and the long queues to provoke government to reverse it. I think we are very fantastic in Nigeria. If this is the style of change, renewed hope that the president wants to bring, I think we should. I think what he needs right now is support. If removing of fuel subsidy will help this country develop faster than we have had in the last 8 years, why don't we give him a chance? And Tinubu just a minute. Tinubu is a businessman. He has all his life, he has been mingling with the Dangotes, with the Otedolas. I'm sure he has consulted before making that speech. You remember I said yesterday, he should make a speech that will take every line of it to the market. You should make a speech that will take every paragraph of it to the market. And I'm sure he consulted widely before making that pronouncement. But I would have loved to see Nigerians, those in the oil and gas sector, slow down and wait for documents to fly, wait for memos to fly before jumping to create this kind of situation we have.
You're preaching from the pulpit. Now, it's left for those, like I said earlier, in government offices who have saddled with responsibility of enforcing rules and regulation to do their job. If you wait and think the man on the street to ordinarily, out of his own volition or her own volition, do what is right, it will be difficult to achieve in any part of the world. Deterrence is the key. That's why you make laws to compel people, shape their actions and attitudes and conduct in the desired direction. Well, for now, we said those in many parts of the country do buy this product as high as 300 naira and above.
Before now.
And this is a subsidy, a product that the state has been subsidizing. They're supposed to buy at 184 or so.
194.
194.
192, 194.
But they never bought at those prices. Right. At the time, we are paying those that were importing this product for the differential. So it tells you that they have been enjoying this differential and nobody has been arrested for doing that. That's why I tell you, if you do it elsewhere, you'll be punished. But in Nigeria, we know it happens and nobody gets punished. Muhammad Buhari described subsidy as a fraud when he was in opposition. When he came into government, the money he paid was 3 times the money the previous government was paying. Now, Bola Tinubu was one of those that organized protests.
The Save Nigeria group in 2012, yes, when Jonathan removed subsidy.
First subsidy remover. Now he has seen it from the other side, that there's a need to remove first subsidy. The first subsidy is gone. He needs to engage Nigerians. And of good enough, he has made first appointment of spokesperson, digital media and state chief of protocol. He needs to quickly get the other appointees, and the engagement process he promised should start. He needs to convince Nigerians that the step he took is the right step, and he needs to get the support of not just Nigerians, but the critical stakeholders. Because this paper before me here, Blueprint newspaper, the banner headline says, NLC kicks as Tinubu faces a few subsidies. So if they're opposing it already, it tells you that perhaps the consultation you talked about did not get to them. Or maybe get to them and they have not reached a common ground. So there's a lot of work for the new administration.
I mean, when we're in school, we have non-academic students. Non-academic students, they roam around, they join the SUG, Student Union Government, but you hardly see them in the classes. They don't know what happens in the department. Until you are a student, you are not a student. So until you come into the saddle, you don't know what's happening. Even if Buhari was Tinubu's friend, then Tinubu wouldn't have known what transpired in governance. Now he has seen himself, he's found himself there, and he just feels that decision he's taking is the right one. I still believe he has done a lot of consultation and to arrive at this, but the aspect of NLC and TUC kicking is very vital. What consultation are they asking for? What palliative do you have? Are you going to base on the 800 million naira loan from World Bank that the Buhari government say they're going to use for palliative because government will say it's continuum? Or are you going to dismantle that structure and start up all over again with your own design of palliative? That is the angle Labour is coming from. You cannot be paying a worker 30,000 naira and you are asking to buy fuel for 300, 400 naira and the whole money is watered down. Transportation that used to be 150 ab initio, today, Amici, they are charging 300 naira to innocent Nigerians that don't even have the money salaries paid. Most organizations are owing salary 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, Amici, and the salary cannot take you home. The salary cannot take you home. So if consultations have not been done, the Labour is right. Tinubu, I think you should release another statement to say you didn't mean that it should take effect immediately. To calm nerves. Because I bet you if you go out there, you see the filling station is a mad place already. So I think statements, Dele Alake is a spokesman. You need to start your job right on, kick on right away and start your job. You consult with the president and let there be a statement that he made a speech that this will happen, but it doesn't mean that it takes effect immediately.
The machinery of government must be mobilized and deployed to work. He's the commander-in-chief, he's the chief executive officer, he's the executive president. His clock has started ticking. This is day 2. So he really needs to settle down to work. It may take some few days or weeks.
Are you counting yesterday? Yesterday he was dancing.
or perhaps
Today is day
but he
one
was
official.
as a
No,
president.
yesterday was public holiday for us.
But
Today is day one official.
but even the public holidays are part of the tenure. 365 days plus 1 year in a leap year for 4 years. That's his tenure. So whether it's public holiday or not, his time has started. He needs to deploy very quickly. He told us before now that we should not pity him. He applied for the jobs. He understands the
job is going into
enormity, the huge tax ahead. Ours is to provide the support and the encouragement, and to also help him by checking him and pointing out his shortcomings, and to hold him to account. That's what the Constitution trusts us.
Yeah.
We will do that. We'll provide the support, and more importantly, we'll also we'll hold them to account. So he needs to quickly move in. Now, this morning, we expect him to be in office at the Aso Rock Presidential Villa, Abuja. Even with the absence of ministers or special advisors, there are bureaucrats who are heading a critical...
The PAMSEC Villa is there.
There are heads of regulatory agencies who are still in office. The action should start now because time is of the essence. There are other major policy pronouncements.
You talked about the GDP.
The president made yesterday. The Naira redesign. Before he came on as president, during the campaign, he in fact rubbished that, as it were. He has given indication that it may not stand, but he says for now, both the old currency and the new one would stand side by side. And of course, based on our laws, the president takes the final decision on the issue of design of currency. He also talked about monetary policy rates, interest rates. He felt it should go down. He rendered his opinion there because under the CBN Act, it's strictly an action to be taken by the CBN. Is he trying to stampede the CBN? Should the president make his advice known? If he says, I want it down, and the MPC of the CBN meets next time, can they go otherwise? To what extent did the president infringe on the autonomy of the CBN in that regard? He also talked about an exchange rate system, the dual exchange rate, where you have the official rate and the market rate. He says he will unify it. Under Obasanjo and Soludo, it was just 2 naira different. So they were able to unify it. And he says he will unify it now. It's a direct opposite of what Buhari did. Buhari encouraged and operated dual exchange rate. An exchange rate system, people said, was fraught with corruption because those that like you in the central bank can allocate the dollar to you. You buy at 400 naira, and as soon as you get it, you walk across the street and sell it for 700 and make gain. So saying I will unify it, a lot of people said it will indeed reduce corruption, but some have also pointed at the side effects. How will it affect prices of goods and services?
You know, Amaechi, he also talked about the GDP to rise to about 6% yearly. Amaechi, you see, if you listen to the whole speech, it shows that this is somebody coming from a business background. This is somebody coming from a knowledge of the economy.
He's pro-business.
Yes, he's pro-business minded. And some persons were expecting to say, I'm going to go anti-corruption war. But he didn't say that specifically, Amaechi, because, you know, if the economy thrives, all this issue of corruption will narrow down. If the economy is productive,
are you certain?
If the economy is productive, all this issue of corruption will die down naturally to an extent. If people have jobs,
goes away. When you put structures to check it, go after those that engage in corruption, punish them, and discourage others from doing so.
Well, we hope to see how he marries the two together, anti-corruption war and the provision and making the economy to thrive, even though we know that some political party presidential candidates have given a stroke to the speech. Peter Obi giving it's expected anyway for them to make such comment on the speech of a president who they are fighting in court. But going forward, on the Naira redesign, I think the president has said it openly that he's going to revisit the issue. What he's going to do is left for us to see in the next coming days, because he has said it yesterday during the speech, that in the coming days he will unveil properly the policies.
Has the CBN not revisited that issue? Because
it's in court has ruled already.
Yeah, we are not seeing. No, the court gave the period.
We are not seeing the new notes at all.
Yes, so as if the CBN on their own.
Probably some
say because the veiled objective didn't work. the veiled import objective didn't work. So, CBN has abandoned the new currency on their own. So that's the opinion of some people.
It was some persons still believe that the bleaching of the naira. Pardon me with that word. The bleaching of the naira.
Who first used bleaching? There's no political.
Pardon me, please. CBN, don't come after me anyway. Some people say the bleaching of the naira was calculated attempts to get at some key political figures ahead of the election, but that is over now. Election is over, and we are running a new administration of the Bola Tinubu, the partyism, the basmatic, or the Tinubulism. So let's see what he has to do. If you are going to withdraw the about 300 billion, 500 billion new notes printed, let's know what you want to do. If you are going to maintain the old note, let's know what you are going to do. Because we cannot have the two. I keep mixing the 200 naira new notes and the 500 naira notes.
NFLA is aware of that some of his policies may have been will be overturned. There were reports unconfirmed that he sought leave to leave early to go and study. The Villa denied it. He's still here with the president. Perhaps one day they'll have to meet and they have to straighten out policies. I hope they find a way of working together for the interest of the economy. The CBN is autonomous. The president has the responsibility to make the economy work. So not just the CBN, there are so many other interests embedded. And you always see it when an administration goes and a new one comes in. So we hope there won't be a clash of these interests. If they occur, it has to be moderated in such a way that the shocks will not indeed
tell
so much on the economy.
For the road, we didn't hear the president tell us how much debt he has handed over to Tinubu, but state government have been revealing how much debt.
In the course of time, we'll get to hear that. Thank you so much for joining us today. Have a good day.